welcome to Third with Issues. I'm Lalo,
And I'm Robert.
and welcome back to Rorschach by Tom King and Jorge Fornes.
Hold, hold.
Ah.
Get into this issue here.
So, last episode, if you haven't followed us, please do so. Go watch it.
Which
Come
is
back to
probably
this one.
about 90% of our audience, or 90% of these viewers, because our Joel, that video fucking died.
Um, but go watch it before, because I'm not gonna recover. So if you don't watch it, you're gonna get fucked in the ass because guess what? You don't know the context. So starting off, Laura is writing a letter to Will Myerson. Dear Mr. Myerson, I'm sure you get a lot of these letters, but I just basically she's just saying like I enjoy your work, especially the Citizen and the Unthinker, and so much so that I see him in my dreams. I see the Citizen in my dreams.
Creepy.
And I don't know if I'm going crazy or if it means something else. Like, which is sincerely Laura Cummings.
Yeah.
And on the other side of New York, Will Myerson is writing a same letter. Dear Laura, um, thank you for your kind words. They're very appreciated. I sometimes I believe that if a letter was if someone took the time to write a letter, it must be the message shall be heard or at least gotten through, right?
Don't think I did that intentionally.
Do what
Fucking, I was
intentionally?
making a stand joke.
Oh,
You know,
and
and just writing back to Stan says, that wasn't a diss. I didn't mean it intentionally. I must have not seen you.
I want to kick you.
But you won't. But you won't, because that was some good shit right there, wasn't it?
Some fucking good shit. I didn't mean to miss you. Don't think I'm just trying to diss you.
I'm going off of the song, like what I remember of it, which is funny because I actually skipped past that song today on my drive home. I was like,
That's fair.
when do I ever need to use this song? Apparently, about like 3 hours later.
The fact that I can remember the line, like, sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. Don't think I was trying to diss you. Madness, Robert, madness.
That's what I'm good for.
Anyway, anyways, Will Myerson is like saying like it was very. Thank you for writing your letter and yada yada yada. With regards, dear Myerson, and these fucking letters are being read by the detective. That they're all sending back to his office, and he is just dumping them all and starts reading through them. And we get we get more of these letters. Like Laura's like explaining like who she is, and I was so excited to read your card and that and yada yada yada. Like if I would have known like I would have written more. If I would have known that you were gonna write back, I would have written some more. And I was like, thank you your work with the superhero like comic books is like inspiring. It's yeah, it's this. And Myerson responds, and they go back and forth for a while until one of the letters like, it means a lot that you wrote back to me, right? It's just going back and forth, establishing a relationship of them wanting to meet each other, knowing each other. Like she admires his work in comic books, and he is just trying to find a connection after like his horrible life
Being
that he's had.
secluded for his entire life, like us.
And the detective is like, he's like getting nowhere. So he's going back to the scrapboard, and then we get a resolution of like Laura talking to Will Myerson about like the letters, about his dreams of the citizen and the unthinker, like, and she sees him in church, and Will Myerson is like, well, when I was a boy, I read Frankenstein. It was written by this little girl, and when I would go to sleep, I would see the monster. But it was misunderstood. The monster wasn't in like it wasn't like the one in the movies. It was kind and it was sweet. And we misunderstood the monster in the inside of the story.
Wasn't that the entire fucking
Yes,
thing?
that is the
Purpose
entire fucking point of Frankenstein, Robert. And Laura is like, dear Mr. Myerson, I never read the book, but I can. And we see like we get flashbacks of her
Shit with
train back to her.
shit with parents like yours. I'm surprised she can even read.
I mean, yeah, because her parents, at least her dad, they didn't want her to read any books because they were all garbage and bullshit. He only had her read comics, which I don't know if it reminds you to someone who only read comics in his youth.
So you're saying
Ding
that's
ding ding ding.
red flag? Both of us?
Mm, probably. Let's not think too hard about that.
Okay. We won't.
And Laura is like, we get flashbacks to her training and missing and shooting the graves, and we see like her father like maybe not being such a good father like we thought he was.
No fucking shit.
Maybe his father was very abusive, and maybe like, and we see the same thing for Myers and like how he grew up, and like his father was a strong man. He was a man's man. You know what I mean?
Be a man.
Yeah,
Eat
be
the
a
gun.
man kind of. Like, don't worry. Why are you so obsessed with your drawings and shit? Like, and the detective is running out of things to do, so he's going off on like he's going back to the recordings, listening, looking at where following Laura and Myerson, and we get back to the like, dear Mr. Myerson, today I wanted to kill myself, but I thought I would write a letter instead. And then Myerson writes back and like remembering the last time he wanted to die. When he was writing on like some the bullshit that the industry was telling him to write instead of the things that he wanted to write.
Don't tell me this is the Black Fiddle.
No,
Okay.
it's Pontius Pirate.
Ah.
Remember?
Okay. Yeah. No. Well, it's been like
Okay,
2
Pontius
weeks.
Pirate.
It's been 2 weeks filled with trauma and stress and me shouting never back down, never what towards
Fair
me
enough.
and all my co-workers. So yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't remember Pontius Pirate.
Pontius Pirate was like it's the allegory to Spider-Man in this universe, in the Watchmen universe.
Odd, but okay.
And you got to remember, Will Myerson is the allegory of Steve Ditko, and
Yes,
how Steve
I'm
Ditko
aware of
was
that
an
one. Yes,
objectivist.
yes, we got that.
Yes.
No one
So
cares
Pontius
about
Pirate is the character.
no one cares about this fan as the last video kind of shows, Lalo. Sorry, a bit brutal though. Ripping off the Band-Aid.
And the detective like listening to the tapes and says, we'll be sending this out. Basically, the tape says, hi, this is Frank Miller, and I would like to talk to my grandma, Brigham, and ask her, basically say your name, and then the tape cuts off. He rewinds on it. Hello, this is Frank Miller. Hello, this is Frank Miller, and he just keeps hearing, hello, this is Frank Miller. So it's like, Hmm. We'll follow up on this Frank Miller guy.
I don't trust that
Just,
fucker.
just dear Will. Today I'm going to go see you, and maybe we can figure out who we are and why we are doing this.
I kind of like how, like, throughout the letters, they've gone a lot less formal, and it's just like a conversation between two friends, pretty much.
Yeah, like people like pen paling and shit.
Yeah.
Instead of like a fan writing a letter to his idol, they've grown closer and closer together as the letters evolve. And until the last letter of them is, "I'm gonna go see you,"
Yeah.
and we'll figure out what we want to do together. In reality, she's gonna make him put up a fucking Rorschach mask and try to assassinate a political figure. But hey,
I
who
mean,
are we to judge?
men would
She's a 19-year-old kid.
as men as we both are men, we do some pretty stupid stuff just to get a chance to talk to a female. So,
Hey, that 19. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
well, 19 is legal, so
No, I was gonna say something else.
okay. Let's not get ourselves canceled then. Let's keep on trucking.
And as the detective knocks on the door, we see Laura knocking on Will's door, and we see a parallel of them together. And Frank, and actually, we see someone watching the debate on TV, the Turley and Redford debate, and it's fucking Rorschach.
I mean, that there was a mood. I can't check the man. That was probably like everyone on Halloween.
Um, someone up. The debate is over. Rorschach goes to the door. He's like, "Okay, what the?" He opens the door, and the detective is like, "What the fuck? What am I?" And the Rorschach figure keeps talking. Like he keeps talking
Lalo,
in the Rorschach speech.
buddy,
Yes,
are you on the next issue?
yes. Sorry.
Yeah, you could have fucking told. I was so confused because dude was like sitting there at the TV. You didn't tell me anything. So I'm like, okay, the fuck. The thing's
Not
not.
fucking bad.
The thing's not
Not
loaded
bad.
correctly.
G.
No, inexcusable. Be better next time.
It's okay, Kratos. Oh
Be
fuck.
okay.
Rorschach opens the door, and the detective's like, "What the fuck? What am I? What is this?
Man,
Why? Why do
man
I
is
always get the weird ones?
man is literally dressed as the terrorist watching the debate.
Fucking head to toe in Rorschach outfit."
It would be like someone watching, a 2008 presidential debate in a Klansman uniform.
Oh my god!
Am I
Because
wrong?
Obama?
Yes.
Oh, I can't get it now. Okay. And Rorschach offers him a drink. Do you want out some water, a soda, coffee, a beer? And he's like, "I'm good." And he walks away.
And he was
He's like, I'll get,"
waddle.
and he waddle away, waddle, waddle.
So
And
fucking
the detective
autistic.
sits down. The detective sits down, looks up, and sees a goddamn pirate like figure
Is that
in a
Pontius Pirate?
storm. It's not Pontius Pirates. It's
What the
actually
fuck?
is another is a the Dark Pfeiffer returns.
Fucking done. Nope.
This motherfucker is Frank Miller, Robert.
Lalo, I'm putting in my 2 minutes notice. I'm quitting.
It's the Dark Pfeiffer returns.
You gotta be
Because
fucking kidding.
this
I get it.
motherfucker is.
Shut the fuck. I know it's supposed to be Frank Miller, but like, you don't know how pissed I am right now. Like, for one time I was gonna be funny. I'm putting in my 2 minutes notice, Lalo. You got me for 2 more minutes.
And then we get like, basically we get the backstory of the recording of the tape, and it's gonna be a little weird because this actually happened in real life. There was this creative who lost his daughter. He was actually the co-creator of Supergirl, and a bunch of teenagers, a bunch of comic book creators at the time, went to his house to like pay their condolences, but also do a seance.
What the fuck? No.
And they gathered together to talk to the Spirit Man, which is Doctor Manhattan. Hopefully, they can get a message out there. Like, did you remember the show? Or did you finish the show?
I haven't. No.
Okay, in the show, they believe that that Doctor Manhattan can talk to the dead and bring messages from the afterworld. And they send messages to Doctor Manhattan, and as if they're praying to God, basically.
Oh, so like what Zack Snyder wanted Superman to become?
Yes, but in here they're sending in the Watchmen show and here they're sending messages to Mars.
Okay.
Right here, and they believe that if they talk to the recording, say their name, let the recorder play, the white noise will deliver the messages. Kind of like it's a visual, it's a auditory Rorschach test. You know,
He said the line.
you
From that one thing from that one piece of media.
It's an auditory Rorschach test because you see what you hear what you want to hear. You see what you want to see.
Yes.
Instead of fucking stains of ink, it's white noise. Yeah, it's white noise.
Static noise.
And we get and one of them is Frank Miller, one of them is Will Myerson, one of them is some other dude who was there, and then the guy who lost his daughter.
Oh, you're not gonna talk about the astonishing suspense?
I didn't want to. Do I have to?
Come on, it's I know you. I know why you don't want to, but it's astonishing suspense.
It's Pontius Pirate. Will Myerson created Pontius Pirate. Here it is. But here I have another. I want to say something
else. It's the Spider-Man pose.
Yes, because Pontius Pirate is an allegory.
We got that. You said it 3 times already.
Here's the thing. Listen, Robert. Listen to me real quick.
No.
You opened the fucking can of worms. Fuck you.
Yes.
You opened the can of worms.
Damn right I did.
This is an homage to Amazing Fantasy 15.
No fucking shit.
Hold on. But it's meant to be Will Myerson's art, right?
Yes.
But Steve Ditko didn't draw the original cover for Amazing Fantasy 15.
But
it was actually written by Jack. It was actually drawn by Jack Kirby.
Yes, but
so who drew this version of the cover? Was it Jack Kirby? Is there a Watchmen version of Jack Kirby?
It was Frank fucking Miller.
Anyway, and they let the recording play, and at the end of the event, Frank Miller and Will Myerson are talking, and Frank Miller's like, "So what do you think?" He says, "I think it's really hard to lose a child. Like, what do you want me to think? Do you really think that the Dr. Manhattan or God or whoever the fuck is in charge of all of this is actually like allowing messages to come through a fucking recording?" And then years later, Frank Miller opens the door to Will Myerson and Laura Cummings.
No, yeah, like that's what it does, right?
And it's fucking Frank Miller. That's fucking Frank Miller.
Yes.
It's a real life Frank Miller, which is fucking amazing. And then I wanted to think like, well, who else is in this book? And I find out that Tom King and Jorge Fornes are out. Tom King and Jorge Fornes are actually at the end of this story. They show up at the end of this story.
Oh, Lalo. You're supposed to hold that little twist at the end.
I will remind. You will forget when I. And then you
The
know who
viewer
else?
won't though. The viewer
You
won't.
know who else? You know who else should have showed up at the end? I don't.
My
I don't.
mom.
No, I don't think any. I don't think he shows up. But I want to go back and look for him. I want to see if Alan Moore is in the book.
Alan Moore would shoot someone at DC before that would ever happen.
No, because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that DC owns the licensing rights for the likeness rights for Alan Moore.
Alan Moore would still shoot someone.
Absolutely. Anyway,
Also, can we let's go? Can we talk about the fact that the Watchmen is getting a mini novel like the small 8x5s or whatever that they
yeah,
used to do back in the 90s? Imagine how thick that shit would be.
it's gonna be like. It's not gonna be a pocket-sized book. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
not gonna be.
I'm talking.
No, 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 no. It's gonna be. Is it gonna be as thick as a fucking Bible?
Well, yeah, they have pocket Bibles as well, Lalo. How have you not noticed that?
I don't know. It's the Bible of comics. What do you want me to say? I don't know, Robert.
But I mean,
I
like,
don't know, Robert.
how are you gonna transform that into something that's literally uses the entire page?
It's a 9-panel grid. I know, no, I know what you mean. The classic 9-panel grid from
Watchmen onto
it's literally
book.
the only book that uses it.
Are they literally just gonna take the image file and then it's gonna resize it?
That's not gonna be viable. That's not viable. Because then it becomes illegible.
I'm making a joke, Lalo.
No, I know you are.
I wasn't making. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I totally knew you were making that joke.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Frank Miller gives some coffee and he's like, basically, what is this about? Is this about the recording that we did when we were kids? And they sit down, they play it, and says, I don't hear anything. Shh. And then, do you hear it? No, I don't hear anything. And we get a flashback to Dr. Manhattan.
Yes.
They keep explaining like what's going on, Dr. Manhattan, and then the end of Watchmen, and we see like how the explanation of like Dr. Manhattan sends messages across the dimension, yada yada yada. It's across time because
Time is
Dr. Manhattan.
2014. Robert's laying in bed watching Five Nights at Freddy's theories. The year is 2023. Robert's laying in bed.
Robert is laying in bed watching Five Nights at Freddy's theories. Yeah, and how like it's all diverse through time, and how in reality, Will Myerson was meant to be Rorschach. Like, I am the Rorschach. Her, and then he puts on the mask as Herm, and then they play the tape. And like, what do you want? What are you trying to get out of this? Like, with this? Are you saying that the squids were like? Basically, they're like trying to piece. He's trying to piece it up together, and then he left them a bunch of cards, a bunch of letters. Years later, Frank Miller is wearing the Rorschach mask.
What the
Not years later.
Is this like some sort of infectious virus of delusions?
That's the thing that I don't understand yet, because I have read this book a couple of times already, and
why Frank Miller's wearing a fucking Rorschach outfit?
Well, I want you to keep thinking about that when we get to the end of this book, because that's a good point that I want you to bring. That I want to come back to it later.
We are Rorschach. Bum, 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 bum. Also, Frank Miller's Rorschach mask.
Fuck.
What?
We are Rorschach. Bum 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 bum.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum,
Nah, I know what you were saying. It was stupid.
Also, Frank Miller's Rorschach mask looks like a 4-leaf clover. Thank you.
Fuck you.
You see it in Arizona, don't you?
I do. Basically, Frank Miller is upset that the Dark Five Returns that it wasn't as impactful as Watchmen because there was an attack in New York.
Screw
This is a comment.
you.
The only reason why I want to believe that the only reason why Frank Miller's in this book is so he can make a comment. Tom King can make a commentary that Watchmen is more impactful than The Dark Knight Returns.
I mean, is he wrong though?
He's not.
Well, I
That's
don't
the thing.
know. I don't know.
One of them is
No,
not. One of them is the most controversial and transcendental comic in history,
but the other one
and one of
is.
them is a fucking Batman book.
But a lot of the Batman stuff, like the modern day mythos of Batman, comes from that one book.
You're fucking right.
The multi,
I guess
the
they're kind of
multi-billion.
hesitant.
Shut the fuck up. The multi-billion-dollar franchise that not only the Nolan films have, but also arguably even the Snyder Force has, because they were both $1 billion franchises at least, right? Multi-billion, all stemmed from the Dark Knight kind of mythos.
And the idea that Dark Knight is not the Dark Knight Batman is no longer. It's not a joke.
Yeah,
He's not a. He's not
because
a
in the
two
'80s he was kind of a joke, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Well, he was the image of Batman was tarnished by the
Shit,
by
you
the
know what?
'60s.
I'm not afraid to say this. You know what else is our next mythos of Batman? The Arkham franchise.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to
that
say
is
it.
probably the most transcendental piece of Batman media that we've gotten in the last. That and the Nolan movies, which
Well,
I
which take
argue that they are.
inspiration, but those take inspiration from the middle,
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
of
yeah.
books. But like 10 years from
I
now,
mean,
10 years
not.
from now, we're gonna be seeing Arkham type of force infect the Batman
I
media
mean, look
of
at
that
Marvel
time.
Spider-Man.
Oh
Look at
God,
Marvel
no!
Spider-Man 1.
Oh God, no!
That was very much like
I mean, they
affected and transcendentally like done based on the Arkham games. Like as you play Marvel Spider-Man 1, you can see the inspiration from that game.
no. I'm talking about like its own respective character, like Batman. The Arkham games are this generation's Dark Knight Rises Returns. I always want to say Dark Knight Rises because it's a fucking Nolan film. But I think this generation's Dark Knight Returns is the Arkham games.
I see what you mean.
10,
Anyway,
10 15
Rorschach
years
is
from
like
okay, continuing on.
Rorschach grabs the tape recorder, press play. He lets the tape play. We hear the white noise. And Rorschach is like, "Did you hear it?" Like no. As clear as morning. It's
Crazy?
God is talking. Like, can you hear the message that he's giving out? And it says kill Turley.
Crazy?
Click.
I was crazy once. Locked him in a room. Oh wait, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start reading the final back of the pages. All those lost could come and be found again.
What the fuck?
The back of each
Oh, I don't get
portion.
those.
Ha! Get fucked.
Anyway,
All right, continue. Chapter 8.
the detective is interrogating some people. Which one, by the way? One of them is Kevin Feige.
Let me guess, the one with the LA Dodgers hat.
Yeah, that's my belief at least.
The one, also
That's the one
the one that's also mostly bruised, most
that's
severely
my
bruised.
belief. That is not like confirmed or anything. That looks like fucking Kevin Feige,
It is Kevin Feige. It has
right?
to
It
be.
does look like him. Like the hat, the facial structure, that's Kevin Feige to the
How
T.
how he normally dresses.
Yeah, and basically
Oh my God! Don't
all their stories line up.
Is this going to tie back into the entire thing from the Forced Watchmen thing of like Watchmen, the Forced Rorschach, whatever his fucking name was, the redhead guy? He infected the
Kovacs.
Kovac, yeah. He infected the therapist that he was assigned, that therapist that was assigned to him. Is that
No,
how? Okay, now, okay. But it's the same idea pretty much.
somehow, yeah, somewhat, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna burn through this issue real quick because
Okay.
here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about this issue, and it's also like really fucking annoying, and it's really fucking upsetting, and it pisses me off. This issue, this one issue, can be read in any fucking order. Like all the pages are in order, but the panels and the construction are not in order. So like you can read it in any order, and it
So,
will still make sense.
so you read the blue, the green, or the red, right?
You can read you can read the blue. You can read it out of order, or you can read even like the speech, like the paneling out of order, like the lettering out of order. And
That's fucking trippy.
I know. And I want, by the way, I want you to, when we finish off, I want you to go back. Like, I want you to read this one issue in just as I can prove it, so you can see that what I mean. What I mean.
So just can like read down the page like you normally would, right? But
Yeah.
just choose anyone on the page. Just don't.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through the story. Myers and Laura started gathering people. Myers is going to therapy sessions dressed as motherfucker is being dressed as Rorschach. By the way, he's doing all this as he's dressed as Rorschach.
Okay.
He's gathering people. He is going. He's getting money. He's getting like a tiny army. They set up like a stage. They set up like shit. They're building bullshit around like he's having therapists. All this while also having therapy sessions on the side as Rorschach, full blown mask. He's getting money. He's building a structure along with Laura. And this structure is a stage with a fucking like bird's nest on the side. They're building the Turley assassination attempt.
I see how it ties together.
And the detectives like they're all giving him the same story. That and when the detective asks like, did you ask why? It's like, no, I didn't ask. It just made sense. Like, don't bullshit me. Don't get me that bullshit. Don't get me don't. You're like your story's all synced up. You're all lined up. You're telling me exactly what I'm asking. Stop giving me that shit. I want a real shit. I want to know the real fucking shit that you're not telling me because I'm fucking losing it.
Nuh-uh.
And they all stop and says, "Oh, it's you. We've been waiting for you."
Mm-hmm.
And we see like Laura like on the bird's nest, like shooting the target every fucking time. Like hitting the target every time.
Look, it's that one piece of popular imagery from that one piece of franchise that looks oddly familiar.
Like she has people like climb up to the bird's nest and aim a shot, but none of them can get it.
It even has the blood.
And she could hit it every time. Like,
I'm glad.
And that's
I'm so glad you've just gone past that point in my Troy jacking. He's just like, oh yeah, he sees the Watchman button, big fucking whoop.
and they're all, basically they all like he's like, "Oh, it's you. We've been waiting for you." And the detective's like, "Oh my god." And he calls the police on Frank Miller. He's arrested. They recreate the scene from Watchmen, like, "My face! Give me back my face!"
Oh my fucking god.
As the police like arrest him. They tackle him. They start tearing his mask off. He says the line. He says, "My face, give me back my face."
He said the line, Lol. He said the line.
He said the line. And we have the moment of the detective like snapping, like, "Stop giving me that bullshit. I want to know the real shit. I want to know the real story." And that's when they all like look back and like, "Oh, it's you. We've been waiting for you." And the detective like leaves the room, grabs a cup of water. It is like, "Anything?" I'm like, "No, same old shit. It's different day."
Okay, wait a minute. Why does he? Okay, so he picks the cup, right? It's red, but he puts it down. It's green.
And then he puts it in the trash can. It's also blue.
That has to be some sort of like. Ah, I know why. Never mind. I'm a fucking idiot.
No, it's different appointments. It's different meetings.
Well, it ties into the color of the different stories.
Yeah, but it's also
Yeah,
correct.
the red's the first one, green's the second, middle is the middle one, and blue is
Yeah,
the last
and
one.
he exits. He exits out of the last meeting like, "Anything? No, anything else?" Like, "Nah, same shit, different day." And into the next issue.
The squids are hill. This one's funny because it's the scene where Frank Miller comes out of the house, hands up.
Hands up! Don't shoot.
Man, you know what? Fuck calling them pigs. We're gonna start calling them squids.
Like them squids.
Okay, next issue. Static Season 1.
And we get like an image of the detective is looking at the smiley face dummy.
Well, what's left of it?
Yeah, and Laura's like, "See, I'm the only one who can do this," and she's doubting herself, right? But she's also treating it like a game. Like she's taunting this dumbasses who miss every shot, but in the inside, she's like, "Am I really the one meant to do this? Am I really like? Should I really be the one that does this?"
Yes.
And Rorschach is like, "Yes, you will. You will save us. You will do it." And then she starts like snapping, and she goes on to hug him, and she says, "Mr. Myerson, what's wrong with me?" And it's like, this poor child who didn't get a childhood, who grew up, who was trained from the beginning to be a master assassin. Like,
Brother.
she is coming to terms with the realization like she will never get a happy ending, or if she does, like
It won't last long.
it won't last long. In reality, it didn't, because the minute she didn't get her happy ending, because the minute she attempted it, she got assassinated for it.
Who would have thunk?
It's almost like radical thinking is not okay. What?
Look, it's
Who said
Smiley
that?
Fish again.
And she like, they're like, yeah. And we also like come to think like maybe she wanted to kill her father. Maybe
Maybe.
maybe she thought it was the best thing to do. And we get to like a scene of Will Myerson and like her like talking and like how like he will be the salvation of the world and shit. And like at the same time, like the detective is sitting in the place. He's been like going through these people's minds at the same time. And he's in the apartment. He sees like he's looking at the place and seeing them like interact. Also, I want you to see how the detective is mirroring Rorschach.
Yes.
And he's like the uh Laura's like, "Why don't you look underneath why don't you look under that? He's like, what the fuck? And he's like, stares at the carpet. Like, are you really gonna do this? Shut up. And he's like, and he sees like a pool of blood, like dried blood.
Oh, that's suboptimal. Also, can we also talk about the fact that now the blonde chick,
Laura,
Laura, yeah,
Laura,
she's in the
she's directly talking
yeah,
to
quote unquote the
to
real
the
world.
detective.
Yeah, she's quote unquote in the real world, which is not because it's delusions.
Is in his mind, but he's also like part of the case. Like he's getting in her head.
Get out me
In or,
head.
get out of the head. He's getting in her head in order to crack the case. That's just what I have to do. I have to follow their footsteps, like become them, and they come in the trip with me, and we all solve the case together.
Become
And
Rorschach to end the Rorschachs, right?
correct. And he sees like the pool of blood. And like that doesn't make sense. Like he, and then he goes to look. He looks at the wall and sees the Will Myerson's the not question drawing, the citizen drawing, and it's like that that frame has been there, like has just been put there. It's too much. There's too much blood. Um, and then he like goes up to the wall, takes the frame out,
He
and
does
there's a
some
bullet in
detective
there.
work. Say he does some detective work, Lalo.
He does some detective work, and it's like there's a bullet there. But where's the body? Where do you hide a body? So he goes down.
You're in a fucking desert. You can hide it anywhere.
You can just leave it outside, and the coyotes will take it away.
Yeah.
And he digs it out. He finds He finds a tub that has the body. He digs it out, and he hears a noise. A voo, voo. Finds a pager.
There's no fucking way a page would last that long.
No. And like, this is real smart. And Laura's like talking to him as he's like, yeah, thank you. It was I found it all based on the wall pattern that showed me, and he sees a number and says, call this number. And Laura's like, are you sure this is the best? Shh, it's ringing. And he says, hi, welcome to the office of Rock Willock. What can I help you? I'm sorry. I have a message from this number. And then like he's ringed in. He's like, you're calling to the office of Robert Redford.
Oh.
Click.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a conspiracy, I tell you. That's what they want us to think.
Well, now we have a linking
A link to
piece.
Redford to
Robert Redford.
the Rorschachs. That's what they want us to think, though. It's a misleading.
That's what exactly.
It's a red herring.
It's a red herring, indeed.
Please tell me there's a character that comes up like a vigilante named Red Herring that comes up in the book. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Am I? Where am I? No, there's not. I'm sorry.
I'm disappointed.
Fair enough.
Is that
And-
is that the last piece of the book you want to cover for this
Yes.
issue? Yes. Okay. Fate's coming. We just got to wait our turn.
He's meeting with his liaison from the not the Redford office, the fucking Turley office. And the Turley office is like, well, thank you. We'll get the records. We'll track who it's from. We'll track for where it came from. What do you have? What else do you have? I'm like, that's it. That's all I have. And he's like, starts thinking, why? Like this doesn't make any sense. Like, so why would he have like several people? Like, basically, the points are pointing, and they're not connecting to each other. And why would the why would they would leave this in the place? Like what happened? Maybe the meeting went south. Maybe something like was wrong.
Oh, they wanted
And
them to
then
find it.
correct. So the detective like going back and forth, checking to the place. He finds a safe leading in. He goes onto the office of the of the guy who was the body who he just found with the pager. He was an FBI liaison, and he finds a safe. In the safe, there's a shit ton of cash, a gun, and a beer bottle.
Sounds like a good time to me.
He grabs the bottle, starts looking at it. There's nothing on it. Then we get like background on what the fuck?
Why the fuck is the Osama bin Laden? Why is it Operation Iraqi Freedom in here? What? Oh,
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because isn't this supposed to take place like in the 90s or this?
This takes place in 2021.
Oh, okay, then that explains a lot. Then actually,
So going back and forth, saying that this you have to like basically this woman is an office manager for like one of the campaigns. Probably I'm pretty sure it's Redford's, and she was found dead.
ain't that a bitch?
But she is the one who called them about the suspicious activity going on in the show. How like and they were given the VIP pass. They were given BIP. Laura and Meyerson were given BIP passes by the Redford's office. Yes, they were given by from Redford, but it's also like requested specially from someone else.
There's
They
still
get to the pavilion.
there's still a party that we still don't know.
Yes, they get to the pavilion. They get dressed up. They're setting up, and then they call um they got a call. They got the call that set off everything right at the beginning of the book,
Yes.
and then they were assassinated.
Hold, hold.
Meyerson and Cummings.
Alrighty.
But we also like the detective is figuring out like what happened. Like, okay, so this person was given the passes by someone else. Then he sent off to the office of to see Meyerson and Cummings. Meyerson and Cummings attacked the guy. The guy was killed, shot. He hurt Laura. Then Rorschach stitched her up, got everything ready, and then they set off onto their adventure. And finally, the liaison for Turley's campaign is like, okay, I'll call it in. Thank you so much. See you soon. And
Now he has a fingerprint.
he grabs the bottle, sees a fingerprint, and gets on to work. By the way, he is getting so close to the truth. And the closer he gets, the more real Laura and Will are becoming to him.
Yeah, because the I was gonna start saying because the panels that feature the detective have started to get darker, but the panels that feature Laura and Rorschach have gone brighter. Because
Yeah,
before,
and the coloring is
like in the house, the scenes with them in it were the scenes in purple, and the detective was in in brown saturation. Now it's vice versa. They're in the correct real world saturation, and he's with backdrop is purple.
Also, I want to say, in page 2, when he's throwing the bottle,
Yeah.
the panel that he's throwing the bottle? What does he say?
One moment. You gotta also remember, though, I've got a bunch of advertisements going on, so
Yeah, that's okay. I wanna check something.
my page 2 is Frank Miller on the cell phone.
Oh,
Are you on?
for issue.
Are you on the next issue already?
Yes, sorry.
Motherfucker! Because you know how I ended the issues? Is this kind of thing even possible? Is this real?
Yeah.
Alright, now I'm opening issue 11.
Okay, when he's throwing the bottle,
One moment, I'm going through all
that panel.
One moment.
Sure thing.
Okay, he's drinking the panel. Fuck you.
He just says, in Spanish, he says, chinga tu madre. For those who don't know, I am reading this book in Spanish.
To no one's surprise.
Well, I got this copy off of my aunt. She's my comic book dealer.
As long as she's not buying you drugs.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway.
Here at SWI, or Comic Book Chatter, technically, if you want to get Lala's going to get pissed at me, we are a drug-free company, for at least for the most. But I don't really care. I'm just saying that to say it.
We also don't encourage suicide. So like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
If you kill yourself, you're a bitch.
No, that's probably not what they want to hear, Lalo. What they want to hear is never back down, never give up.
You're never alone. We love you. We love you here at Stories with Issues. No homo. Or full homo, if you're into that.
No homo. Just
no homo.
No homo. Alright,
No
get
homo.
into the story.
Basically, the detective's like getting ready at the same time as Laura and Will are practicing their last steps to it's performance night. It's the opening night, big show coming down, and Will like he opens the beer case. He grabs a beer, like starts running everything back into his head. Like she's shot. They get the things. She's been built up this entire life for this moment. She kills the FBI liaison. They get into the event. They are murdered.
Bum, bum, bum.
But that was not supposed to end like that. Like she wanted to live. She wanted to have a life after this. She was supposed to be the savior, but the savior for what? I don't get that point on.
She lives
Anyway,
in you.
go back.
Right.
He goes back. The security head gets the call. Gets security up there. Social secret services. Yada yada yada. What the fuck is the connection? Why? Oh, that's it. And he's like puts it all together. And we see like him undress, redress, like undress, and we see the reason why the detective this doesn't get a name throughout the story.
Why?
Because he himself is a Rorschach test.
Crazy? I was crazy once. Locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room full of rats.
And he sees Myerson and Laura. Myerson drawing the unthinker. Laura like killing his father, becoming the hero that she was supposed to be. Myerson is using the ink sacs to make his own mask. Laura's getting guns in her childhood as the detective is getting undressed. He's hopping into the shower. He's hopping out like and says, you see what you only see me."
I take it on your panel with like the Rorschach sitting next to the American flag
Yes.
on the American copy, which makes a little bit more makes it a little more comprehensible, I think, because I see only myself, and the detective says I can't.
And then Rorschach is like, "You're gonna do it."
Also again, the franchise keeping its consistency. There's at least one nude body in this.
And wait, what other nude body wasn't? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Manhattan was another book, in Doomsday Clock.
He was nude in Doomsday Clock.
Yeah,
Was he nude in the Button?
the, that had to be something. But that wasn't really a Watchmen book. That was a Watchmen
That
adjacent
wasn't. That
book.
was a DC book.
That was a DC
That
book.
was a
That was
DC
it
book.
was
Jake
Watchmen.
Gyllenhaal.
Fuck you. That was a Watchmen adjacent book, but it wasn't a Watchmen book.
It was more of a prequel for Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, it was setup book. That really wasn't useful for any of the setup that we got, but that's besides the point.
He gets in the shower. He washes off, and he goes into the elevator with another man. The guy is just blabbering and blabbering. The detective is quiet, and he asks him a question, and all he says is "perm" with a blank expression in his face.
Motherfucker's a Minecraft villager now.
No, it's the Rorschach sound. It's a perm. It's meant to. If it was 2009, if it was 2009, and they were making a movie about this, the guy would have gone like a fucking moron.
Now
Instead,
we don't.
now it's
We are the superheroes, Lalo. We are the superheroes.
To be fair, that's literally how I've always heard Rorschach talk. It's always been the little Minecraft song. Even during the movie, because I didn't see the movie until like later in my life. When I first read Watchmen in elementary school, which by the way, I shouldn't have been reading Watchmen back then. Different conversation for another
Lalo,
different fucking day.
well, we now need to have an AI generated voice, like villager voice. Read out. Read out. No, not only that, but the entire all Rorschach lines now somehow. We're stupid.
November 1st, 1985.
A comedian died in New York.
He died in New York.
Oh
my God.
Those finally to a point where we can't recover.
We have become
Lalo,
the detective, Robert.
Lalo, yes, we have.
Yes.
Let's finish this book, please, before we go stupid. Before we become our own versions of Rorschach. No, if we become our own fucking Rorschachs.
He goes to the office. He gets the tape recorder. He's like, and we learn at the beginning of the story that Turley doesn't like to be recorded at all. So him bringing a tape recorder is like, what the fuck is this? Like, why? He's like, I'm not planning anything with it. I need Turley to see it. So they pat him down. They let him in. And he starts explaining, like, he goes in with his security leader. And he starts monologuing, basically.
Yes. Like you?
Well, because Turley opens a beer. Like, he shows a beer. And that's when he realizes what's going on. It's the same beer that he found on the safe. It's the same beer that he was given at the hotels. It's the official quote unquote beer for the Turley campaign.
I have no clue where the fuck you're all.
Oh,
Wait.
beginning of the bit.
I found it now. Yeah, never mind. You really just skipped over
Wait, am I in the different?
you skipped like 5 pages, and it's just him talking to himself about the tape recorder.
No, I'm
Okay.
in the same issue. I'm in the next issue. The
Issue
last
12?
issue.
Issue 12? Yeah, I'm aware of that, yes.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yes. They're sitting down. Just because I didn't destroy Jack over the Watchmen logo. People can change law, though. People can change.
And he pops up the tape, the recorder. Press click, and he murders them both. Because they all explain like, yeah, we did it. We would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids and that stupid dog.
Same parent company.
It is. But he also explains like, yes, they set up everything, but then they realized like Laura and Will were for real. Like they were actually they could have actually pulled it off, which is why they called security trip on that and had them assassinated immediately. Right?
Yes.
And like he turns on the recorder, starts like blabbering, starts going on. Then we get white noise, and then we see the next page, and we zoom into the recorder. We zoom out, and the detective clicks it on, and starts going on a speech. And he clicks it on with a bloody
Bloody
thumbprint.
hand.
Yeah, leaving a mark, and we see both of the bodies like on the floor.
What a fucking twist.
He exits out the room, puts on a jacket. He puts on a coat, kind of like a Rorschach coat. As the speech is going.
Is that the coat from that one figure, that one thing from that one piece of media?
I need you to stop.
No. Well, we're like halfway through
He
this
puts
issue.
on
I
the
gotta make as many jokes as I can.
he puts on the coat, and as the speech is still going on. Head of security looks at him. Like he's going into the door, and it's like, whoa. He's practicing his speech. He doesn't want to be bothered. And he's like, okay, you can go. And he goes on to the movie theater and says, "Can I have one for Pontius Pilate, please?"
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
It's like, sir, you're 25 minutes late into the movie. Like the movie already started. You're gonna miss the beginning. Like I don't care. Like I need to see it now.
Oh, like how we saw what was it? Fuck. Immaculate Ray from Unbearable Talent.
An unbearable weight of massive talent.
Potato.
And he's walking into the box office, and I think that's Todd McFarlane at the box office.
No, it's just some young kid.
No,
It's just some young kid.
it looks like Todd, to be honest, when he was younger. And we see Tom King and Jorge.
A young boy.
And we see Tom King and Jorge Fornes walking out of the theater. Tom King on the left with a baseball hat. Jorge Fornes on the right.
Well, you know, at least me being kind of the more stereotype prone guys, it's pretty obvious, though. The white guy is going to be named Tom.
And the detective sits down and starts watching the movie. And as the movie plays out in front of him, he just smiles, and that's the end.
Crazy.
Like this motherfucker's gonna get like killed or arrested or like he ain't getting out of this one. I'm telling you that.
But he gets to watch Pontius Pilate. That's all that matters.
To watch Pontius Pilate.
But don't worry, son. I'm living forever. That
And
that was a lot.
that's it's a fucking madness. This fucking book.
But it's finally over, and that's the beginning of what I'm gonna call the wrap up, which Lala's gonna fucking hate because it's a Christmas joke. It's gonna be us covering all the stories that we haven't been able to finish over the past.
We're not doing Boxing Day.
We're not fucking British. We're not British.
Sorry, I've been watching too much Doctor Who.
Yes, but you know, I found it funny. You know, it's the wrap up. It's the the holidays. We're wrapping up our ends and giving them to you guys. Books that we've neglected to finish, like Dark Knight Returns. We covered in the series.
And we're also remaking some of our old videos for stories that we didn't get to finish, like Big Time, or that's about it. I think I'm pretty sure.
There's gonna be a lot to cover, a lot of it. But hey, you're gonna see for the rest of this month and even next month. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy the wrap up, and hope you guys enjoyed this issue. I'm Robert.
And I'm Lalo, and thank you for watching Stories with Issues. Good night.
Peace.